Welcome back, everybody. At the beginning of the show, I promised you that we would have some major stories and we'd have a major surprise. And I actually have with me Salvation Army Major Bob. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great, Rick. It's good to be here.
Thank you. And Leslie, Leslie Rogers, actually was the first person I met at the Salvation Army, and she is absolutely charming. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Rick.
You're very, very welcome. Let's regress here for just a moment.
Okay.
I want to share with everybody how exactly I ended up in the Salvation Army.
That's good for people to know.
Yeah, it is. It's, under the circumstances, I ended up in the Salvation Army. Like most people, when I think of the Salvation Army, I think of Christmas time. I think of little bells.
Right.
And I think of, reaching in I reach in, okay, not every time. But some of the times I'll turn around and reach in my pocket and go ahead and put something in the kettle. And that's kind of the beginning, the middle, and end of the Salvation Army. And that's what I knew. Until myself and Ella spent some time with you, Leslie, over at your place. It was absolutely phenomenal. First time we met was at your office.
At my office a few weeks ago.
Had a great conversation.
It was terrific. And I always sort of overdo. It's that thing, don't throw up on people with everything that you know. But sometimes I never know if I'm going to have another chance, so I tell them everything I can tell them.
Well, it was so intriguing and engaging that we then ended up going over to one of your campuses. And there was where the real story was told, where you folks have, facilities A to Z, everything from people who just need a meal or a place to spend the night, all the way through to those folks that need full rehab. But you can explain a lot better than I can. I just overview.
You did a pretty good job, actually.
Oh, okay, good.
We were at our social services campus over in North Las Vegas. And what we have there is essentially a continuum of care. Continuum? That's not very easy to say. Continuum of care.
They only give me short words.
Where people come in off the street, most of them. Some are referred from other locations. And we find out, we ascertain what their situation is. Do they need rehabilitation for drugs and alcohol? Do they simply have a mental illness that needs to be addressed? Do they have both? Do they have neither, and they simply need help with vocational training so they can get back in the workforce and then back out on their own? So we do all of those things on that one campus.
And the most important thing we do is we try to make relationships with people. Because once you make a relationship with somebody, then you can help ease them off the street. But it takes time to make that relationship.
That's one of the things that I was just taken back by. Not only will you take, or at least address, most all cases, but you'll take cases that other people won't even touch, other not-for-profit organizations. Not dissing them, it's just because some of those cases are just too difficult. When I found out that you would actually engage in what's referred to as multiple issues, where somebody might have a physical disability, then along with some other type of addiction, and you'll deal with both, or an emotional and a physical. And again, those are complicated. Those get really complicated.
Well, yeah, you add mental illness to the mix, and it's really hard to get people to be willing to come inside, let alone come into one of your facilities. So that's why it's so important that we try to create a relationship. And of course, we do that by offering meals, free meals. We do that by offering free showers for the homeless. But the whole time they're coming into our facility, we're really trying to create relationship so that we can build that trust that's needed to really ease them off the streets and help them become a productive member of society.
And the thing is, Leslie, as you were saying, you don't just do it at just one campus.
No.
You're doing how many campuses?
We
in the Valley?
have 5 campuses and 5 churches, and the Henderson Corps was the biggest surprise to me. They have a daycare center for adults, and I thought, oh, my mom lives with me, and I want a day out, so I'll take her down there. No, it's for children who have aged out of the school system and are so far along on the autism range that they need help 24/7. They're there. There are people with dementia, Down syndrome, Alzheimer's, all kinds of stages of autism, and they teach them whatever they can teach them, and they keep them busy. They have activities all day long. So that's another whole piece, and that's really a place where the people go that no one else will take. It's amazing.
It's beyond amazing. As a matter of fact, so much so that when we were having a conversation when we were on campus, that Ella was with me, then Ella starts tearing up. Now, she ended up ultimately, I'm not going to say who else cried, but I'm just going to say I don't think there was handkerchiefs started going all around the table. Okay? And Kleenexes started going all around the table. It was so moving to see all the work that's actually being done. Now, I'm not going to sit here and suggest that your programs are perfect or the system is perfect. There's no system, but just the number of people that you folks do affect. And I can tell you, more than one person has said to me, who's been involved with such things as like law enforcement or the community, that has said, of all the organizations, the highest regards for the Salvation Army here. That is, it's amazing. Your reputation is just beyond itself.
That means a lot to us,
It does.
Peter.
It really, you know, it's completely overwhelming. Now, I know that there's some other things that we need to talk about. And there's an amazing story that Leslie's going to be sharing with us. But in the meantime, I have to take a short break. But if you want to know more about what's going on, it's very, very, very simple. You just go to letstalknewsnow.com. You'll find out all kinds of things. Don't go away. A huge story coming up next.
Great.